Needless to say, before going into this game, Detroit City was having their issues finding the ball into the back of the net. For about 87 minutes of this game, Detroit City was still having issues finding the ball into the back of the net. The other side, however, had no problems finding the ball into the back of the net. Take, for instance, 42nd minute of play. Gerald Margarita feeds this ball to Colin Smith, who heads it right past Carlos Herrera. 1-0, Phoenix Rising. Did I mention Detroit City had their problems getting the ball into the back of the net? Opportunity here in the 48th minute of play, 3 minutes into stoppage time. Ball sails right into the supporter section. Fast forward to the 47th minute, 48th minute of actual play here. Opportunity here. Save. Jordan Adebayo Smith sails it over the crossbar. Perfect chance to nutmeg it into the net. Missed opportunity right there. More missed opportunities for Detroit City trying to get it into the net. Jaceel Cedeno with a chance here. Another missed opportunity for Detroit City at that point. This was in the 51st minute of play. Set piece opportunity here for Detroit City. Carlos Villanueva, or Alex Villanueva, not Alex Villanueva, not Carlos Villanueva. Alex Villanueva sails this one over the crossbar. And then Phoenix would get their second goal in the 71st minute. Hope Avaveu gets it in past Carlos Herrera. Score is now Phoenix Rising 2, Detroit City 0. But things would start looking up. A lot of substitutions came in. They started, a lot of those substitutions came in before the 87th minute, including Maury Donor, who came in the 71st minute, same minute that Avaveu scored the goal that put Phoenix Rising up by a score 2-0. However, Detroit City would finally wake up, and it took one player that they picked up from the Finnish First Division to actually make the difference here. Reese Williams feeds it into the area, finished by Darren Smith right here. And Detroit City finally gets their first goal in 3 games, making it a score of 3-1. Fast forward into the 89th minute. Detroit City down by a score of 2-1. Darren Smith would find the back of the net once again for Detroit City FC to equalize this thing at 2 apiece. And it was ball game on. Couple minutes later, the buzz was still coming from the Northern Guard. The buzz was still there. And then Detroit City would complete the comeback thanks to Jaceel Cedeno's banger right here in the first minute of stoppage time. Detroit City comes back to win by a score of 3-2, and unbelievable. Steve, what'd you think about it?
To Cole, the lead, Jack Buck, the big balancer. I don't know what I just saw. Dodo 2, Darren Smith 2 goals.
Channeling the late, great Jack Buck there. I don't believe what I just saw. And you couldn't believe what you just saw. we thought for the most part Detroit City would fall to the wayside tonight. And as you know, and up until the 87th minute of play, we thought that way. It was going to be another dismal thing to talk about. But the last 4 minutes, 3 goals in 4 minutes for Detroit City SC. Probably one of the greatest comebacks in the history of the club right there. And what can you say about, I mean, what can you say about that, to be honest? Let's look over the stats here. Start off with the first half. Detroit City, 4 total shots. Two of them were off target, 2 of them were blocked. Story of their night for the most part. And we featured one of them in the highlight package, or in the highlights just now. But at the front, and they had 4 corners in the night. Phoenix, on the other hand, you know, they were doing okay. 3 shots off target, 1 shot on target, that being Colin Smith's goal. They were looking pretty good, 52-48 on the possession. Come the second half, though, Detroit City peppering them on the net. 12 shots on net, 5 were on target, including the last 3 goals. 4 more corners for Detroit City FC. They got aggressive. 5 shots off target, 5 shots on target, 2 block shots for Detroit City FC. That's where the comeback. They didn't quit. They didn't quit peppering the net. They didn't. They didn't at all. Final totals, though. 16 shots on goal, or 16 shots, 5 on target for Detroit City FC, compared to 11-3 for Phoenix Rising tonight. And it was just probably a comeback for the ages. Comeback for the ages. I mean, there's nothing more you can say about that. I mean, that was a big, much-needed 3 points for Detroit City tonight. And, of course, a huge momentum builder going into Open Cup play this Wednesday against Westchester SC. And probably one of the greatest comebacks I've seen in my time watching Detroit City football. I mean, I saw the comeback last year down in which ended up getting them into the out of the round of 32 and into the the 4th round or whatever it was of the 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup, beating beating Houston, the defending champs, Houston Dynamo, and that was an impressive comeback as well. But this, I mean, from being down with no goals no goals going into it, and then coming back strong with 3 goals. That's something right there. That is something right there. What a finish. What a game. What a comeback for Detroit City FC tonight down in the desert. And I'll tell you what, nothing. I don't think that this match could top anything else in the USL Championship tonight. We will go around the sea, however, and take a look at some of the other games that were on tap for this evening in the league. And, oh my God! Like I said, great night of action. And then we'll come back. We got some coaching news to talk about.
His cross towards the top of the D. Left foot shot off the side of the net. And there is some of the Lexington SC.
Well, Ben Mines showed Campisi exactly where he was going to go.
Mines trying to follow it up, and that one is scored. Loudon comes right back, not to be denied.
Even with the chances missed, this has been a very entertaining game tonight.
Absolutely. Juan David Torres comes out in front for Jennings! Redemption for Cal! 4 straight with a goal.
3 crammed together in March. Now, late on, Oakland Roots. Chance, real chance, goal! A second one for Oakland Roots, a second one for Wolfgang Prentice. And in injury time,
but not very far forward. Akinyode, nifty turn. Plays it across, and Miami has knocked it in for the opening goal on the road. Sanchez made the initial save on the cross, but it's Dalton Knudsen who's there to pick up the loose change and knock it in for his second career goal in 118 matches. 2 weeks ago in championship play in a 2-1 loss to in-state rival Tampa Bay. Bonfiglio had the opening goal in that one. Here's a run opportunity. Matias Romero makes it 2! How about this start for Miami FC, up 2 goals on San Antonio, 26 minutes in. Bonfiglio, rather, on the attack up front.
Still in possession. Vargas gets it down to Lindsay. Seymour has it blocked. Seymour again, blocked again. Here's Gaines. New Mexico takes the lead. It's the first goal for New Mexico. Thomas Among in second half stoppage time. Welcome.
Here's Jamison. Silla calling for it in the midfield. He gets it, rolls it back, aiming for Jamison. Puts it across frame and it creeps home. A slap of the ground in frustration. Jamison and Silla embrace. It's going to be an own goal, but the home fans won't care. Orange County double their lead in the first minutes of the second half.
He's back there. Unfortunately, it hits the head of the Colorado Springs player, but good look.
Lopped it up near the 6! Oh, there's the go-ahead goal! On the board off the sidelines in the 83rd minute. Milago makes it 2-1, Monterey Bay.
As reported by us during Soccer Night in Detroit on Wednesday, when we recorded, Tommy Sang out as Birmingham Legion manager. He's pretty much spent most of his career with the Birmingham, or most of the time the Legion's been in existence. He's been down there. He got let go. They are at 2 points right now. 11th on the table in the East right now for Birmingham Legion this year. Not a good sign for that club. And of course, the only 2 points that they had, Detroit City and Louisville City for the year. And of course, he wasn't able to get the job done, especially bringing in the players such as Ronaldo Damas and Danny Trejo. They just didn't seem to click. And unfortunately for them, saying he ended up getting the axe, and he got that Wednesday. Robbie Nielsen got the axe yesterday for Tampa Bay Rowdies. He was 17-17-5 in his tenure there at Tampa Bay, which included the win over Detroit City in the first round of the USL playoffs last year via penalty kicks. Tampa Bay just couldn't get it going themselves this year. They're sitting at 3 points, and even so, as you saw in the Around the Sea, they lost again tonight. This time to this time they lost to Loudoun United by a score of 2-1. So the troubles still continue for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Big news this week as far as international games for Detroit City FC, as you were aware of on Soccer Night in Detroit. And let me tell you a little bit more about this team. Santos Laguna from Liga MX will be our opponent on Wednesday, June 25th, over at Keyword Stadium. 7 o'clock kickoff for that one. Let's take a look at the squad right now. Not having the greatest of years in the in Liga MX right now in the Clausura, which is the second season. The first season is the Apertura season. in the Apertura, they finished 18th with 10 points right now. In the second half of the season, the Clausura, they're sitting right now with 7 points on the bottom of the table there. Now, you realize there is no promotion and relegation now in Liga MF, so they'll be back in that league next year. But in the top 10 teams, they qualify for a qualification for the next stage of the competition, which I believe will probably be playoffs or something like that. But yeah, not a good year for that club. But the history of that club, though, they have been winners of they won the Clausura back in 2018. They won they were runner up in the CONCACAF Champions Cup in 2013, the last time that they were in the championship game of that. They won the Copa MX in 2014 and 2015, and the Campeón de Campeones, they were winners of that in 2015 as well. So they have won some trophies in the past, but unfortunately for them, like I said, this year their schedule their season has not been, shall we say, the greatest of seasons. But we do welcome them for a international friendly at Keyworth Stadium, and that will be taking place on June 25th. So looking forward to that, and that's gonna be a tight one, because I think June 25th. I'm pretty sure there's a game that day down in Toledo the same day, or is it July 25th? I don't know, but yeah, there's a game in Toledo. I'll have to check. Yeah, it is June 25th. So yeah, there is a game in Toledo that day. So it's going to be hard. Yeah, the women will be playing Toledo Villa that afternoon or that evening as well. So, I don't know. Lots of soccer going on in Detroit right now. Of course, we mentioned the two side. I believe they start. I believe they start on April 13th, and got lots of soccer going on in Detroit. Lots of time. Lots of things going on. But the one big thing that's going on coming up this coming Wednesday, Detroit City FC, Westchester FC, a Jägermeister Cup preview for so many people. Other people just know this as the U.S. Open Cup. Westchester SC right now has been doing pretty good in USL League One. As we look at the standings right now, they're sitting out of the top 10. But in their 3 games that they have played, they have won 1, lost 1, and draw 1. Obviously, they've won. They've won their first 2 games in the Open Cup this year. As far as let's see, look at their matches here. Let's see here. So in previous matches, they defeated FC Motown, and they also defeated amateur side New York Pan-Cyprian Freedoms by a score of 3-2. So they faced a couple lower league opponents, let's just put it that way, our amateur opponents, FC Motown being one of them. Among their wins this year, a 3-1 victory over Texoma, another new team in the League One this year. Their most recent loss was today, a 2-0 loss to AV Alta, another new team in the championship, and they only draw this year. In fact, that was their only loss of the year thus far. But their only draw of the year thus far was their first game against Greenville Triumph. That was a 1-1 draw in that one, the very first game that they have played. And for like I said, they'll come into Keyworth, same deal as we are doing, three matches in 7 days. In fact, their next opponent will be the Richmond Kickers on Saturday, April 19th, as our next opponent will be Rhode Island. After that will be Rhode Island FC at Keyworth Stadium. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff. So basically, we're both playing the same schedule going into this thing. So it should be an interesting matchup. A lot of new faces. Looking at the squad there, I'm going to give a little bit of a let's see here, get a little overview of the team here. Connor McGlynn is their highest rated player at 7.53. He's also got the most goals on the team, top scorer with 1 goal, and has the most assists with 1. So he's got at least 2 points on here. But Connor McGlynn is their top rated player. The other top players on the squad. Juan Obregon, 7.36 rating. Let's see, and Jonathan Bolanos, a 7.34 rating. Those are their top ratings through 3 games this year in USL League One. So, like I said, it's kind of a Jägermeister Cup preview because they are in our group and they will be coming back to Keyworth Stadium in July for their Open Cup match against Detroit City FC. So it should be an interesting, fun time. Tickets are available, of course, at SeatGeek.com, Detroit City store over in Capitol Park as well. Make sure you get your tickets for this one. And of course, if you are a season ticket holder, these are separate from your season tickets. You have to purchase this one separately. So hope to see a lot of you out at Keyworth on Wednesday for the Open Cup matchup against Westchester SC. And until we see you on Wednesday, keep your feet in the ground. Keep your reaching for the galaxy.
Jack Buck, the big ball answer. I don't know what I just saw. Down 0-2. Darren Pep 2 goals. And holy cow. Oh my God. What did I just